Alright, gang, welcome back to our Island Preservation Challenge on Ronida Island. It is May. A lot of you pointed out that with this, there is a trigger, and I'm assuming that's what this is. Block pallet spawning. Yeah, okay. Okay. That went about as well as you would expect, I guess. I don't know how I'm going to get these out of here. I guess I'm going to have to do it this way? I don't know. I guess I'll figure this out as we move along here. But, I mean, it's spawning them again, so we're supposed to be blocking it. I don't know. I don't know, gang. I don't know. I guess this is the way to do it. It's not really that realistic, but whatever. We'll gloss over that. Whoa! What did that happen? Oh. So if I'm even remotely hitting B in this area to pick up these objects, I can't do anything. And now I can't move that. Okay, this is going great. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're just gonna throw them out of the way. This is turning into a disaster really quick right off the bat. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing better than me with the issues here with the pallets, but whatever, we'll get them sorted out. Like I said, it'll be fine. It'll all be fine. But yes, hopefully you're all doing well. For whatever reason, I cannot pick this guy up now. He's like stuck. Things are overall good here. Things are overall good, man. So, a couple things we talked about in the last episode with the cows, right? We started putting the stuff in for the cows. We got the cows in, rather, and we got all the stuff put down for the cows. I was having trouble finding the trigger point, right? Still can't really figure out where that trigger point is, to be honest with you. I've lost it, evidently. I don't know what the mod is. I've got to go back and look at it. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the time. As I mentioned kind of in the last episode or whatever, we had... my new boss was in town this week, so until today, I really haven't had time to do any recordings of any sort. So, and with that, along with that, I haven't really had any time to go and research or do anything like that. So, I will work on that between now and the next episode, though. It's not a huge deal right now. The only deal would be is if we wanted to take anything out of there, you know, to put on the fields. But like I mentioned, we're really not going to have a whole lot for a little while. So, I'm not too concerned this harvest season, although there's not really a season on. But at least this pass of the harvest and the seedings and the plantings, I'm not too concerned about that right now. We will sort that out as we move along, I guess is how I will put it. But yes, hopefully you're all doing well. Things are good, man. So real quick, the guy that came down, my new boss, he seems okay. He's a little brash, a little aggressive, but it's kind of to be expected, I guess, considering they fired the president of the company that I work for. I guess it's kind of expected. You're kind of going to expect somebody to come in who thinks they can fix and change things around, I guess, right? But anyway. At least I have a job for now. It seems like I have a job for a little while, so I guess that's the only positive I can take off of that whole entire trip of him coming down here, right? Because I really didn't know where it was going to go. I kind of mentioned that to you guys, right? There was a chance that maybe not have a job anymore, right? They might have just let all this go. They didn't do that. I'm not saying that they won't do that, but they didn't do that, at least yet. So I think it's more of a, we got to turn this, excuse my French, shit around for a little bit, and then we'll see how it goes, right? If we're able to turn it around, then maybe we'll be all right. But biggest problem for me is my client. I have the biggest client that the company has, and really, it's not my specific job. I was just asked to take on doing this job because who was doing it, they let go. So I did that, and I've been kind of running it ever since for almost 2 years now. So, but for over a year, I've been preaching and praying and begging them to do something because of all the work that they were giving us, which is a good thing. That's a really good thing, right? But we didn't have the resources, or we didn't have the capacity to do what this client was asking of us, right? And so I've been telling them for a year, we either need to augment our staff or move people around, right? And they didn't do that. So we kind of got into a bad state because of that reason, right? So that's more or less the reason why I was actually pretty concerned about my job, was because I'm running the largest client, and the largest client is one of the reasons we're in a hard spot right now, because the largest client is just not really that happy with us. And to be fair, I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect at everything I do. I certainly have made them mad before, but I don't think I'm really the main culprit here and the reason why the client is not happy with us. You know, I'm only able to do what I'm given, right? The resources that I'm given. And if you don't know what I do, I'm a project manager by day, but really, I'm a manager of project management is what I really am. I just ended up getting thrown into the largest client because there was nobody else to do it, and they weren't going to hire anybody new when they let that guy go. So anyway, enough about work. Long story short, that's what's been happening the last couple of days. Hopefully things start to calm down again now, and then move along from there. So anyway, the cows, specifically the cows, right? So grass seems to be working, but they're not in the reproduction state. There's no increase to reproduction. So to me, that means we probably do need to give them the hay, the silage, the grass, or the TMR, right? We need to give them that whole entire approach, which means we've got to make some changes if we're going to do that. More so than anything, we've got to find a way to make TMR, or make, you know, all of the above there, the hay, the silage, the grass, right? To get us to that point. Why are some peas down here? Why did peas come down here? All right, weird, whatever. So anyway, we've got to kind of sort that out. I kind of want to do a production, though, for TMR. There's a production I use in FS22. I really like it. I haven't used it in FS25. I'm really considering doing it here. Also, as you can clearly tell, selling the plow. We're going to get a bigger plow. A lot of you, correctly so, mentioned that, you know, even more so than the harvester for the cotton, you know, I should spend some more money on equipment and things like that just to make things better and overall, and then get it the next time we have a selling day for all the clothes. It makes a lot of sense, and honestly, you're probably correct. That is probably the approach we should go. I'm going to see how things go here. I'm definitely going to make some upgrades. We've already kind of done that, but I'm definitely going to continue to make some upgrades here. You know what? Let's do a John Deere green. Let's do a John Deere green with the black. I like that. It looks good. But we're definitely going to end up doing that. It's just kind of a matter of when. We've made upgrades. We've got the harvester, right? We've now got a bigger plow, which is going to help us out tremendously. The cows, obviously, once we start getting those underway and we are able to actually start utilizing them, that's going to help us out a lot. But, you know, cotton is really our big thing, right? So, well, I totally agree with all of you about that. I mean, part of me still wants to oh, that's spinach. So why did we get the spinach from the palletizer all the way here? Maybe because there was an issue? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this back here without it falling off, but guess we can attempt it. So, to your point, yes, it is definitely something that I should consider doing. It's something I'm probably going to consider doing. But we'll see when the time comes, right? We've got a couple more months before it'll be time for us to harvest another cotton field, right? We've got a bit of time before that happens. So I'm actually okay with holding on right now and waiting. As I mentioned, I don't think it's going to happen. But maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see another one pop up in the used market for us. Highly, highly doubt it. The chance is probably less than 1%. But it would be nice if it did, right? That would save us a lot of money, and then that way we'd be able to still get that and do some other things at the same time. But we'll see how things move along, and evidently we're going to be able to get the spinach back here, so that's cool. So yeah, big massive plow here. It's a plow we use on almost every series. It's just I like the other plow that we had, but it was time to make an upgrade. It's a little slow. It's a little finicky. I like this plow a lot. It's by far the best one, in my opinion, of the entire game. So we're going to continue to use that. Now today, specifically, we don't actually have tons to do. A couple of things we can do is work on the cows a little bit, but again, there's not really a main reason to do that right now. I want to get a TMR thing down. I talked about that before. We're going to take up some of this space here and put something down for the TMR. I'm not quite sure where it's going to be put down at yet, but we're going to be doing that to kind of produce that. We've got some wool we need to move over to Grandma's Knitwear from the from the sheep. The chickens, speaking of the chickens also... I think they're out of room to produce eggs, so we need to move those out of the way, I think. We've got the 2 fields down there that need to be plowed up, the stones picked up off of them and then re-drilled. I'm actually considering doing something a little crazy there, and what I'm kind of considering doing is combining them into one cotton field. So we're going to have another cotton field is what I'm considering doing. The reason why I'm considering doing this is because I think with some of this money... Sorry, gang, I hit the microphone there. Stop moving. Okay. I think we're going to buy another field or another plot of land. I think we're going to buy 78, maybe 62, but I'm leaning towards 78 so we can continue to progress here, right? We bought this plot of land over here for the house. I want to get started with that soon, but I'd like to get another plot of land, I think, first, which is a bit of a change from, I think, what I talked about in a recent episode, which was I wasn't going to buy a plot of land for a little while, but considering some of these upgrades we're making now, I think it is in our best interest to get another field, and now that we have this big, massive plow, it's going to help us out tremendously. A couple other things to note. I talked about this down here. We're going to combine this and make one big cotton field here. Now, this will be a very, very large cotton field. It'll be arguably one of the bigger cotton fields we have, but that will now make 4 cotton fields for us, which is huge, right? That is a huge amount of cotton we're going to be having coming in here. So, the odds are Grandma's Knitwear is going to get really busy. Really, really busy. Now, I know a lot of people don't like when I use this plow at this slow of a pace. I totally get it. You know, a lot of people want me to turn it around and go the super unrealistic way. Considering we don't have tons to do today, I'm not going to do that. What I can say, real quick autosave here, I will put a time lapse in. We'll get it done from a time lapse perspective. So that way it's a lot faster for you. I think these 2 fields will be ready next month. It looks like, at least, which will be good for us. And then if we buy another plot of land today, then obviously we can do some work on that today too if we want to. It really just is going to depend on how long it takes for us to get all of this done, right? I don't know the answer to that. Why are no rocks spawning here? I would have thought rocks would have been spawning here. I guess they are. Just not that many are spawning. Okay. Well, I don't know. There you go, I guess. Now, one thing and other thing to talk about. We've talked about this before. I think it might be time for us to actually really start to consider upgrading the Fiat, right? I think it's about time. The Fiat has been really good to us, but I think it's time to upgrade it. This, obviously, might need a little bit of help, too, because it is struggling to pull this. I mean, we're getting 5 miles per hour, though, now. We're not going too bad. So, anyway, you know what we got to do. I rambled for 13 minutes there. Let's get this field done. We got to get it plowed up, get the stones up, and then we can start drilling it with some cotton. Well, planting it with some cotton. I decided to go ahead and plow this field up as well and just go ahead and set the worker off on doing that field over there. But kind of what we were talking about before, right? I think it's time for us to do the upgrade to the Fiat there. Now, if we do the upgrade to the Fiat, it's going to take quite a bit of money away from us, right? So, while I'm certainly definitely wanting to do it, I don't think it'll be today, but it's something we need to think about as we move along here. Because I do think it probably is in our best interest to make that upgrade here very soon, sooner than later, rather. So I'm just going to put the plow over here, just kind of its standard spot we've been kind of holding it at. And we're going to pick up the trailer here. We're going to head on over there and get the wool up off the ground. And put that into Grandma's knitwear. Get that underway so we can make some more clothes, hopefully. I don't think any other things have spawned because I don't think we had anything else to put in there. Yeah, nothing else to put in there. But I'm pretty sure that we're close to being full, or we are full on the wool here, so... Oh yeah, look at that. I don't think we're quite full yet, but we're getting there because there's still a pallet that's being, filled up. But we're definitely getting there, so... Time to bring this over here and drop this off and get it going and hopefully get another pallet or two of clothes out of it. Now, are we going to sell that pallet or two of clothes right now? Probably not, right? Probably not. We've got plenty of money, so we'll probably hold on to it until, next year when it's best to sell the clothes again. But if for some reason we get to a point where we need it here in the next episode or two, or really even further than that, then we can absolutely do it at that point, right? That's the nice thing about it is, the prices definitely fluctuate a lot when it comes to clothes, but no matter what, you're getting a good price no matter when you sell it, really. You could just get another $5,000 more if you waited, right? Which is a lot of money. Now, speaking of the sheep, I would assume the sheep are in okay state. In other words, I think they have enough food, but we should probably take a peek at that. Yeah, they're good. They're good. The sheep are good, the chickens are fine, and the cows are what we really need to be focusing on and working on. So we're going to try to do that today, which means we're going to spend some money today, and we're probably going to be lower than the amount we need to be at to be able to buy the cotton harvester anyway, right? But that's okay. We're going to have things to sell here soon enough. Like I said, the soybeans, I think we've planned those out pretty well, where they're going to be ready, and best time to sell them is going to be when they're ready to harvest. Which is a good thing, right? I certainly don't remember all of the periods of time when it's best to sell stuff, but, I mean, some of the base ones that we're used to using a lot, in other words, soybeans and wheat and barley and oats and canola, that kind of stuff, like, I'm pretty confident when those are best to sell, but some of the other stuff, I don't know. And without precision farming on, or without seasons on, excuse me, it's going to be hard to kind of really time and plan those out, but, all right, Granny's knitwear is underway once again, which is good. So go and take this and drop this back off over here. Now, the next step, really, for me, what I want to do, I'm going to let the worker continue doing that thing over there. Hopefully, they're not going to run out of gas. I don't know if you noticed, but the gas was a little low. I think we'll probably be okay. There's not much left for them to do, but we'll keep an eye on that. We can also sell some of this stuff in here, too, right? But, again, I guess I could have did it earlier today, but if I'm going to sell those, I mean, I might as well wait until we're bringing the trailer up there, right? There's no reason to take those up there one at a time, if you will, right? So what we're going to do here is we are first and foremost going to start by doing a little bit of paint work coming up this way, or in other words, we're going to put asphalt down. Which asphalt was the one we used? I don't even remember now. I don't know which one we used. Well, it wasn't that one. Wasn't that one. Looks like it was just the first one. Okay. So we're going to basically bring this all the way down to here. Now, I know that I've got sand tracks over here, but as I've mentioned before, this field eventually is going to be entirely just yard and production work. So, there's really no reason not to go ahead and use the asphalt here because that's what's going to be anyway. Oh, went a little bit too far there. That's all right. You can come back and paint that later. All right. And then for now, I'm just going to go about there. This is probably not the most exciting thing to watch, but I want to get this done because we're going to, like I said, put down a production to help us with the TMR, hopefully. Now, this production I want to put down is one that, like I said, I've used in the past and in previous iteration of Farming Simulator, but I've never used it in FS22, or 25, excuse me. And I'd like to. And I'm thinking about putting it over here. I kind of wanted to see really how much space we're going to have here. And it's pretty significant, so I think I will probably put it here. I just have to kind of figure out exactly where I want to put it at, because I don't really have that answer at current, I'm going to be honest with you. But we will figure that out, right? We will figure that out. Just trying to bring that in a little bit here just to give us a little more space, because it is a bit of a tight corner right here that I gave ourselves next to this shed, but we'll be able to get by, though. All right, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, eventually it's going to go, this whole field will go away eventually anyway. We're just utilizing the space right now because we really don't need all of this space at current. Eventually, absolutely 100% we will. But right now, we don't really need that, right? We don't need it. So, okay, so let's see. How's the worker doing really quick? Let's just take a peek here. They're almost full. I think they're going to be able to get that whole field done, though, before they get full, which is good for us. So, the production I want to put down is this, and I'm sure many of you have used it before. As a matter of fact, I know many of you have used it before. I just really, really like it. Where is it? I've got so many different things installed here, sometimes it takes me a while to find it. Here it is. I really, really like this, and as you can see, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. But I love this thing. I've used this many, many times before in FS22. Even before that, I used it as well, FS19. But I wasn't doing recordings then. What do we want to do? Do we want to do brick, or do we want to do this like stucco-like approach? I'm kind of leaning towards the brick. I kind of like the brick with the dark color there. This is fine. I don't know. I kind of like the brick. So I think we'll go with the brick. Now, I don't know where exactly I want to put this at, right? That's the next thing. I don't know where to put this. So we are going to have to buy, what is it? I don't remember even what it's called now. But we're going to have to buy the additive. The additive. I don't remember what, silage additive, I guess, or whatever it is. We're going to have to buy that. Everything else we should be able to do. And I think we should be able to just distribute it. I don't think I have to transport it, but if we have to transport it, we have to transport it. But I should be able to just send it from the silage stick over here. I think I'm going to kind of put it over here. Maybe it's not the right spot. Maybe I'm picking the wrong spot for it, but I think I'm going to put it over here. Awesome. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm happy with that. Okay, cool. Now, if we go to it, the TMR mixing station, so mineral feed, that's what it's called, mineral feed. I keep saying additive, it's mineral feed. I don't know why I was blanking on what it was called, but mineral feed. So we're going to have to buy that. We don't really have any way to get that. We have to buy that. But what we should be able to do is we should be able to send silage, straw, and hay directly here from the silage stick, right? We should be able to do it. If I go to distributing, if I go... and we turn on the hay, it'll start making hay for us. It's already doing it. It'll start making silage for us. Everything's going to start working for us now. And it should, in theory, send it over to the TMR mixing station. As long as this is set properly, it should. Now, the thing to note here is that soon, I mean, we've got plenty of grass in there, but soon enough, we're not going to have enough grass in there, right? So that's the main reason, really, to get another field too, or another plot of land, I guess I should say, is so we can actually start working on the grass stuff. Now, to work on the grass stuff, the problem there is we don't have any way to really do any of the grass stuff. We've got the forage wagon, which is great, but we don't have a mower, right? We're going to need a mower. That's going to cost money we don't currently have. I think for the time being, we're going to be okay with what we have for a little while. You know, we will need some of that grass, though, you know, for the sheep or whatever, so we have to kind of keep an eye on that. But in theory, I think we should be okay for a little while there. All right, workers done here. So we can go ahead and get the planter and get started here. Now, the question becomes, do we upgrade this Fiat now or do we wait, right? And like I said, I'm kind of leaning towards waiting. There's a forage harvester in here, but that's super expensive. We're not doing that. That's not really worth it right now. So if we're going to upgrade the Fiat, though, let's just talk through this. I think we talked through this previously, but let's just talk through it again. You know, if we're going to upgrade it, we've got to get something that's got some power to it, which means it's going to have to be another John Deere probably, or maybe this Voltra. 190 horsepower, and compared to what we have right now, which is it's not much more than what we have right now. So, yeah, I mean, might be more beneficial for us to hold on for at least another episode before we sell it, maybe two, right? Either way, if we do anything else with this tractor, we're going to have to get some gas for it. We're almost out. We definitely do not want to run out of gas. I don't want to fit some kind of a tanker to be able to hold gas to be able to fill this thing back up because it ran out of gas on the field. We really don't want that to happen, right? So I'm just going to park that there for right now. We'll use the John Deere. But yeah, this thing is nice though, right? I think that looks really good, right? I don't know. We've got more things we need to add, of course, right? It kind of looks a little bit slightly out of place right now because there's so much space, but it won't soon enough. Soon enough, it will not. Palletizer, you could also argue, looks a little out of place too, right? But that will all change soon as well. All right, so last episode, I mistakenly brought this drill over here thinking that, you know, it would fit in here, and even though we already knew it didn't because we've tried it once before. So I'm just going to place this right here. Going against the grain of what I like to say, I don't like leaving things just randomly placed all over the place, but that's exactly what I'm doing there. All right, let's get the cotton in here. I'm probably going to put a worker on doing this. We're almost out of gas, actually, in the John Deere, too. We got a little bit more room, but we're almost out of gas there, too. All right, so let's get that going, and let's see what we're going to do with this Fiat. I really think we need to do something with it, so let's look a little closer here, because I didn't really look that closely at it. I just knew we had to get some stuff done, and I was kind of thinking maybe we wait, but I don't know, man. I just feel like we need an upgrade here, right? We need an upgrade. We could go with the Agco here, right? These are inexpensive, and you get 225 horsepower, which, how much does our actual Fiat have here? Our Fiat has 180 horsepower, so that would be a significant upgrade, right? The Agros here, they don't have a whole lot of extras to them. What I mean by that is there's not like, you don't have like you can't put like a front loader or anything like that on it. We don't specifically need one right now, but Yeah, maybe that's the one to go with, because that is an upgrade, right? That's a significant upgrade, and it gets rid of the Fiat, which has got some wear and tear on it now. Everything else, I think, is a little bit outside of the price range of what we're really looking for. Yeah, I think we go with the Agco. I think I'm going to go with the white one here, though. Medium tires and weights. Might as well put the weight on it. This is a big upgrade day, man. We did 3 things today: plow, TMR mixer, and now a brand new tractor. It's a big upgrade day. All right, let's go ahead and buy that. And tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do exactly what I said we could do once we need to go down there. Let's bring the trailer with us now. We'll go sell some of those small little manual handheld items. Now, when we do this, the only thing we got to note is we're not going to be able to do sunflowers or corn for a little while. Because I'm pretty sure this is kind of a mod where it utilizes it for the corn and the sunflowers. Now, do we really need to get rid of them? Are they worth that much money? No, they're not, but I don't really think we need them anymore. I truly don't. I think we're going to have plenty of money where we can buy another header if we really want to do corn and sunflowers, but I don't think we need to. We can wait and do that later. Oh, there's still corn in here. How did I miss corn in here? Interesting. Okay, well, we've got some corn still, then I guess. That's good, I guess. No, I didn't really check this one. Now I didn't want to check this one. No, there's nothing in it. All right, well, we're good there. But we got corn, I guess, now, too, so that's good. Need to move this sorghum and this corn that's sitting over here on the side of the house. Need to move that over to the palletizer, so we'll do that, too, in a little bit. We got a lot of eggs, man. We got a lot of eggs. Once we start getting some milk going, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but once we start getting some milk going, things are going to be really good for us because we could then start utilizing a bakery or whatever we want to do to you know, kind of mix the milk and the eggs together to make some other things which can make us a lot more money in the long run, right? Holding on to the cotton harvesters for now. Because obviously we have a little bit less money now as well. But we're going to hold on to them just for now, and just in case the time comes to harvest and we don't quite have enough money. I don't really want to sell them and then have to go buy them back again. I think from a time perspective here, we're probably not going to buy that field today that I talked about, but we'll buy it next episode for sure. I mean, next episode, really, the things we're going to have to do, like I said, we're going to have the soybean field and then the small spinach field, and that's it. We really won't have anything else to do. It'll just be those two. The cotton field will still be probably another episode or two away, or either another month or two away, really, before that one's ready to harvest. But that'll be good to have that ready to harvest too, right? That'll be good. When we do buy another plot of land, I'll probably turn half of it into another cotton field, and then the other half maybe we'll keep it as grass, especially if we're going to do this field right here, which is near the cows. I think that makes some sense there too as well. And then, once that's all done, we'll probably be at a state where we're ready to maybe start considering working on the house a little bit. As I've mentioned a number of times at this point now, we really do need to start working towards the house here very, very soon. Because it is going to take us a while. I still haven't fully decided what I'm going to do. A lot of you mentioned, speaking of the house, that there isn't really a whole lot out there in Mod Hub for construction projects for different kinds of houses. So, kind of what we have is what you see is what you get, I guess, a little bit with that. So we're going to get $48,000 back for this. That's not going to be that bad when you think of it. I mean, we're only going to spend about $40,000 really for that new tractor. So, and it's got more horsepower, so we'll take it. And for some reason, this one's not registering, so it must not be close enough. Yeah, so we're getting just a small amount back for the grain harvesters, but that's okay. All right, let's get into our brand new Agco 8810. This thing is a beast, man. Look at this thing. We've used this, well, not this white one. We used the red one early on in FS25 when there was very little things to choose from. Certainly not my most favorite tractor in the world, but it definitely did the trick, right? It did what we were setting out to do with it, and it works. Just not having the ability to do any kind of a front loader was a bit of a struggle early on for us. We don't really need to worry about that right now. We really only have one thing that cannot be lifted by hand right now. And we've got a little tiny hand forklift for that anyway. And eventually, the goal is going to be to get some kind of a wheel loader, really. And then that way, we can use that, you know, across the area of the yard area. One, we can put a bucket on it, and we can move, you know, the TMR into the cows directly with that, versus you using a trailer. Among numerous other things, right? It's not 10 o'clock yet, but it's about to be. I did not buy any of the additive. I keep calling it the additive. I keep calling it the additive. What the heck is it called? The mineral feed. I didn't buy any of the mineral feed yet. I'm not going to buy any of it yet. We'll wait and see and make sure that everything gets transported over here before I do that. And I can do that off camera. That's not something that needs to be done on camera. You don't need to watch me go to the shop to buy mineral feed and bring it there. That's very lackluster, I think. We'll certainly do it at some point, so you'll see it at some point, but there's not really a reason to go out of my way to do that specifically. Is the worker going? Yeah, they are going. Okay, I was going to say, is the worker actually doing anything, or are they not? I don't know. But they definitely were. They definitely were, so that's good. I'm going to pull this over here. I'll park this over here near this area. See, it's kind of deceiving. It makes you think that there's something in there because there's actual product in here, but there's really nothing in there at all right now, but it makes you think there is. Anyway, okay, so where's the worker at? I guess we'll take over for the worker here. There's still a bit of ways left to go here. We got to go around the headlands because, of course, the worker's going down the middle, which is what you should be doing. I just don't really follow those rules. I just go around the outside first, then go to the inside. It's just a habit for me. It's easier. 1, 2, the game doesn't really do anything. I kind of wish it did, though. That would force me to stop doing that, but it's just the way that I do things. We probably need to start considering getting a roller soon, my most favorite of all the pieces of equipment. We probably need to consider it. It will add a few extra % to the yield. Although, if I use a worker, all of you correctly have pointed this out many times to me, that it's not really that big of a yield, if any at all. You might actually lose a little bit, but I mean, rollers are, the big one, I guess, is a little expensive, but they aren't outrageously expensive, so it's probably just something I should fit to have to the yard and the, you know, the series anyway, no matter what, right? What else? Shop's open. I mentioned that, I think in the last episode, but the shop is open for business. I don't think I've actually updated the links down below because of all the issues going on, but I will make sure they're updated as of the time this recording is released. So there should be a link down below if you want to see that. The link down below, though, will not give you the 10% off. I'm trying to have it set up to where it automatically gives it to you, and hopefully that's set up that way, but it's a little finicky. So right now, at least at the time of this recording, when this releases this week, there is a discount code, 10% off the whole entire purchase. So if you want that, I put it in the post on the channel, so you just go to the posts on the channel and you'll see that. My goal with the shop really is to kind of try to work on it. It won't be every single month. I can tell you that I'm going to do the best I can to make it every single month, but it won't be a guaranteed. But I'm going to try to release a new shirt design. Probably also be put on the sticker. But anyway, I'm going to try to kind of aim for that once a month, hopefully. Just do kind of a special release for it once a month. Time permitting, of course, like I mentioned, it's not going to be every single month. I will tell you that. There's going to be certain months where just life and time gets in the way, but that's going to be the goal, especially when I've got nothing major going on. In other words, I don't have work issues going on, work trips or vacation or anything like that, and, you know, butting up family in town, anything like that. That's going to be the goal. And it won't always be, I will tell you this, it won't always be a farming shirt that will be released once a month. It could be something for my second channel. As I mentioned, I do have a second channel, and I've combined those together just like my Discord, just to make it easier on me. They are all segregated out by, you know, different column links on the t-shirt page, but, or the shop page, I guess. All right, we got 1 minute. I want to see what happens here. We got 1 minute, and I want to make sure that it actually does transfer over. If it does, then we know we're in business. Come on, 10 o'clock, come on. It also could be a situation where it goes at the end of the day, but I think it goes every bit here. Oh, yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff in there. Oh, yeah. All right, so we can turn the silage off for now. TMR is maxed out on silage now. 3,000, I thought we had more than 3,000 liters of straw. We do. For some reason, it didn't max out the straw. That's a bit weird, but okay, whatever. And there's a little bit of hay, but not tons yet. So we'll let the hay continue to be processed through with the grass. And like I said, there's plenty of grass in there, especially since it only holds that much anyway. But that hopefully will get us to a point where we can actually start giving the cows TMR really by next month or by next episode, right? Alright, that's all done, gang. We are making progress big time here, man. We really are. We've spent a lot of money recently. We've got a lot of new stuff. Combined quite a number of fields here to make them larger, right? We've got ourselves quite a production here, quite of operation, I guess I should say, going. And we're only truly just beginning. 40 plus episodes in. We're only truly just beginning. But things are going to come fast and furious here now that we actually truly do have the ability to do what we're doing, right? To have these large of fields, have this large of equipment, and to have all the animals that we've got going now, right? So things are really, really going to start picking up here. Very happy with the progress we've made. Hopefully you have all enjoyed it as well. But we are going to leave the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like and subscribe button. And in case you've yet to do so, they are free to do. It helps me out an absolute ton. Thanks to each and every single one of my members for all of their continued support, especially with some of the things that I've been dealing with lately. I do apologize for that. But if you're interested in seeing access to videos like this one early, there's a link down below where you can consider becoming a member on the channel, supporting me, and more specifically supporting the channel. Every single dollar goes right back into the channel. Check out the second channel, check out the Discord. Everything's down below. Shop, like I said, everything is down below for you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your support as always, and I'll see you next time.